All right, so let me present my screen and you guys can start your warm-up. I think it's 4 questions today.
Okay.
All right, so for number 1 today, you are going to be doing 1 and 29/100 divided by 300. Number 2, use a number line to help you put the following numbers in order from least to greatest. So put them on a number line and figure out least to greatest. Number 3, solve for x. We have x divided by 3 equals 45. So solve for x. And then number 4, this is kind of what we've been doing this week. Write an inequality to show the following situation. So you need to use greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. And say, well, basically, a person must be at least 18 years old to vote. How would you say that as an inequality? Do your best on that one. We haven't completely talked about it yet, so do your best on that and see if you can get it. Okay? Go ahead.
Don't you have to put the 3 underneath that 3? Yeah.
My best was 40.
I'm surprised that was even there. That's hard. Oh, I saw my finger. Hey, you did what one? Huh? That was yes, and it's finger too long. I don't get number 4. And I bought my finger, but you big on. So that's the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Darwin, how is your camping? I mean, your hunting?
Hey, about 3 minutes to finish these up, please.
Okay. I think I've got too much left.
I never went hunting with my father. He left me.
I'll go back to you.
Yeah, he never came back though.
Okay, can we focus on our math, please?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I just don't know how to do first grade.
Number 1.
You know what I meant today? Was my father, I wish I could go
There does need to be less talking. Let's focus on our math, please. Skylar, focus on the math, please. Alright, let's go ahead and go over these. Those of you here need to choose a little bit. Too much talking. Okay, so. Oh wait, I need to stop presenting. There we go. Alright, can we see behind me? Looks good. Okay, so we need to start with 1 and 29 hundredths divided by 3 hundredths. So 1 and 29 hundredths goes on the inside, 3 hundredths goes on the outside. Before we can divide, we need to move our decimal. How do I move this decimal? Good. We need to bounce it to the wall. If it bounces 1, 2 times, if I bounce it twice on the outside, have to bounce it twice on the inside too. Once I bounce it on the inside, what do I do with it? Good. Throw it on the roof and bring it straight up. Now we just divide. Does 3 go into 1?
No.
No. Does 3 go into 12?
Yeah.
How many times? 4. Subtracting is 0. Does 3 go into 9?
Yeah.
How many times? 3. So our answer here is 43. And we're done. Good. All right. Our next one, number 2, we need to put these numbers in order from least to greatest, right? Okay. First, we need to fix this one. It's a negative, negative 4. What does negative, negative 4 become? Positive 4. Good. So this is a 4. So we have 4, negative 4, negative 3, negative 1. Let's put 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Let's just plot these points so that we can put them in order. Where does the 4 go?
Right.
Yeah, on the 4, the positive 4, right? This is our negative, negative 4. Okay, where does the negative 4 go?
To
To the left on the negative 4. Okay, so we've done 1, 2. What about negative 3? On negative 3. And what about our last one, negative 1? To the left on negative 1. So, if we were to write this from least to greatest, do I start on the right or the left? What did it say? Greatest to least or least to greatest? Least to greatest. So we start on our left. That is our least. Are you okay, Alex? Okay. Our first one would be negative 4. That's the one that's the farthest left. Then it would be negative 3, negative 1, and then our negative, negative 4. Because we got to put it back in its original way, right? Original form. Good. So that would be our answer there. Okay? All right. Exactly. Number 3, we need to solve for x. We have x divided by 3 equals 45. So this is an equation. What do I need to put here first? First step. Good. Do your upside down t and split your equation, right? This is dividing by 3. What's the opposite of dividing by 3? Good. Multiplying by 3. If I multiply by 3 on this side, what do I have to do on this side? Also multiply by 3. What happens with these 3's? Good. They cancel and you're left with x, and then our equal sign will drop down. What's 45 times 3? 135. So if we were to plug this in, it would be 135 divided by 3 equals 45. So if you just plug it back in and check your answer, that would work. And you got your answer. Okay? And then our final one, number 4, we need to write the inequality. Remember, your inequalities are greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Hang on, I'm getting a call.
Oh. I want a criminal.
Yeah, by the nurse. Okay, so our inequality, we need to say that someone is at least 18 years old to vote. Okay, Skylar, go. If you think about the elections that just happened, could anybody that was under 18 years old vote? No, so we cannot use less than. You can't be less than 18 when you vote. You have to be older, greater than 18. Can you be exactly 18 to vote? Yes. So would it be greater than or greater than or equal to? Perfect. You're going to use greater than or equal to 18. What do I put at the beginning though? We can do V for voting age. You can put Y for years, A for age, whatever variable you want, because you can replace this with anything. What would be some answers? 17, 18. Possible, hang on. Possible solution. We could do 18. You could do exactly 18 you're equal to 30, 20, 19, 20, 40, 20, 21, 40, 21, 32, 73. Okay, but down. That's a good answer. It is technically correct, but will anybody live to be 823 to be able to vote? I mean, I don't know a lot of immortal people, so I don't know if that one's going to work. But so when we give answers, when we have real world situations and you're giving answers, you want to make sure you think about it in context of what's happening, right? So I would say 100 is probably the biggest you're going to want to get here. Okay?
Yeah, 122.
Yeah, but I doubt they're getting out to vote. We'll see. But anywhere from 18 to probably about 100, 105.
Why do you have to be 18 or older to get some money?
I don't know. That's just the age that they decided to do it at. I don't know. All right. So. Yes. Huh? I don't know. People aren't happy with their lives, so they gotta. I can't control the internet connection. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go ahead and. Wow, that's really slow. I know. Sorry if it's super slow, guys. I don't know what that would be. But let's go ahead and look at the assignment we're going to do. It's kind of like a mystery type of thing. A little bit like an activity. We would. No. No. So under, let's see. Hey. No. All right, in math, it's not posted. So. There we go. Solving inequalities mystery activity. That's what we're doing today. Now, this is a different sort of document than we have worked on before, so you're going to want to pay attention to how to work it. It's called a Google Sheet. It's like having Excel, if you've ever used Excel. But we're going to go ahead and open it up. It's very similar to a Google document. It's just that there are two sheets that you can look at. So we're going to give it a second to load, and we'll go over it, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to work. So take a minute, get that loaded. Okay. Kind of. All right. So, like I said, this is a little bit different in terms of the way it looks. So, you have this chart that says who, where, and when. There's going to be a bit of a mystery. What we're going to do is down on the bottom. Do you guys see where my cursor is on the bottom? No. Can you see? Okay, well, on the bottom left, listen, on the bottom left, there are the words instructions and clues. Do you see that? Okay, instructions on the bottom, and then there's clues. If you click on the word clues, it takes you to another sheet that has the inequalities to solve on it. Okay? Do you guys see both sheets at the bottom? Instructions and clues. There's two of them. You can go back and forth between them. Okay? So, yeah, so the ones that say clues are the things that we are going to solve. Once we solve them, we'll be able to do the stuff on the instructions page. But let's go back and read the instructions. I just want to show you that there's two sheets, right? So let's read the instructions and talk about what we're doing here. The instructions say, Avery Apple has algebra class, 6th period. Before she arrives to class, she realizes that she lost her algebra homework. She must have left it somewhere in the school before then, but she doesn't remember where or when she lost it. But surely someone must have found it. She needs to figure out before class starts. So, we're going to figure out who found Avery Apple's homework, where did they find it, and when. On the second page, we're going to solve the clues. So we have quite a few inequalities to solve. Just like we solved them yesterday with Ms. Dauphine, we're going to solve them today as well. Okay? After you solve each clue, find the answer on this sheet. So you go back to the instructions one and you check it off. You're like, yep, found that answer. I checked the box. You can literally click the box and it checks it for you. You see that? Okay. So you'll check it once you find the answer. When you're done solving all of them, the answers are going to be the unchecked boxes. So let's say that we discover all the who's. We say Rebecca red, Olivia orange, Yolanda yellow, Gregory green, Billy blue. Oh, and we're left with Peter purple. That means that Peter purple found the homework. Okay? So you're checking the ones that are wrong to find the correct answer left. We have to go to the other page and solve the inequalities. We're going to do it a few times, then I'll let you guys work. You might have done something similar before. So, when you think you've solved it, type your answers into the boxes on the clues sheet. So if you click on the clues sheet, you can type your answers over here once you're done. Okay? There are 15 things to solve. We're going to start with number 1, though. We're going to do it together. So everybody go to the clues page. We're going to do 5. Let's see. We'll do a couple together. I'll have you guys choose which ones you think was the hardest. And we'll solve them together. No. Not all of them are that difficult. So let's choose 4 that I will do with you. I suggest you look through them. Take about a minute. Find the ones that you're like, wow, that looks hard. I have no idea how to do that. Number 8. Okay. I'm not doing 12. You can do 12. 13. Sorry. 13. Okay, we can, so I have 8, 13. I heard 15. We're gonna do 15 for sure. 11.
13. Oh, I thought I did last thing, but I don't.
We'll do 11.
What about 9? 14.
We'll do 9. I'm not doing 14.
13.
I think that those are the only ones that you guys might struggle a little bit with, so I will do these 5 with you. The rest of them are similar, and you can do them on your own. Plus, we've been solving equations for a few weeks. We talked about how solving inequalities is literally the exact same thing as solving an equation. You just have a different symbol. Instead of the equal, you have an inequality in there, okay? So, let me make some room up here.
Looks like there's nothing on you that one more.
All right, so we're doing 8, 9, 11, 13, and 15. Okay. I know, I'm getting there. Just got to readjust. Chill. Okay. So, we're going to start with number 8. Number 8 says x divided by 2 is greater than or equal to 3. Okay? Those of you online, can you guys see this all right? Looks good? Looks good, I think. Well, these ones are just for me to write down. Yeah. So our work will be done right here. I think we're good. So let's start by solving this. Yesterday we talked about our first step to solving an inequality is to split it down the middle of your inequality, just like we did with equations. You need to create your upside down T to get your 2 sides. Huh? Oh. Because I'm presenting. There we go. Is that better? Okay. So you have your upside down T to start with, and then you need to do the opposite of whatever's happening. Isolate your variable. So we are dividing by 2 on this side. What is the opposite of dividing by 2? Multiply by 2. If I multiply by 2 over here, what do I have to do? Multiply by 2 on this side. What is happens with these 2's? They cancel and you're left with x. What is 3 times 2? 6. What's my inequality?
Greater than or equal to.
Good. Make sure you drop your inequality straight down and it's greater than or equal to. You don't even need to type it because now we need to go back to the other page, look for this answer, and just check the box. So, let me, okay, so what you do is you go back over to your inequality thing right here, right? Instead of being on the clues page, you go to the instructions page and you look for x is greater than or equal to 6. You guys said it's the courtyard? Yep, the courtyard. So that's the where. So you click it and you're done with the first one. Now you move on to your next problem. So all you're doing is solving these over and over and over again to practice solving them, and then eventually you will solve the riddle about when and where she left her homework and who found it. Okay, let's look at number 9. We'll do number 9 now. Okay, I'm going to write these all down so that I don't have to keep going back and forth, and you guys will check them off on your own because you guys are capable. So number 9 says 1/4 x is less than or equal to 1. What's number 11? 40 is less than or equal to negative 10x. Negative 16 is less than or equal to, where'd it go? Oh, negative 3 plus x.
Wait, I want to make a guess this time.
Negative 7.
Yolanda Jones.
Okay, let's start with number 9. Okay, I'm going to do all of these just kind of in a row. It's very similar to Clue, yeah. Number 9, we have 1/4 x is greater than or equal to 1. Now, this one looks like it might be dividing, right?
No, 1 point.
Good. It's multiplying because you were doing 1/4 times x. So that means we need to divide on both sides. What am I going to divide by? The whole thing. 1/4. You're going to divide by 1/4 on both sides. Well, we're going to do it. What? 1/4 divided by 1/4 is what? It's just 1. You're left with x. But now we need to do 1 divided by 1/4. How do you do 1 divided by 1/4? What do I do with this? Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. So we keep 1 over 1. Division turns into multiplication, and 1/4 becomes 4 over 1. We can multiply straight across. 1 times 4 is 4. And 1 times 1 is 1. Okay? Can I simplify 4 over 1? You kind of can. What does it just become? Just becomes 4. So our answer here is 4. 1/4 goes into 1 4 times. And then we need to drop down our inequality. So our inequality is x is less than or equal to 4. Okay, so now go to your instructions page and check off this answer. Okay. Okay, so you check that one off. Okay. All right, let's look at our next one, number 11. All right, number 11 says 40 is less than or equal to negative 10x. Someone tell me my first step here. Good. No, not on this one. Upside down t. If we look at our negative 10x, what operation is happening? No. These are being multiplied. Yeah, so the opposite of that is dividing. What do I divide by on both sides? Positive or negative 10? Negative 10. Divide by negative 10. Negative 10 divided by negative 10 is 1. They cancel each other out. You're left with x. This one's a little bit different, so I am just going to kind of talk you through this one. If you ignore the negative, what is 40 divided by 10? 4. And then because you're doing a positive number divided by a negative number, your answer is negative. That's just how it works. I know. I'm just going to walk you through this one. Now, the thing with inequalities that we don't really talk about this year, but it was on this thing, so we're going to slightly talk about it, is when you multiply or divide by a negative number, it flips around your inequality. So instead of this inequality being less than or equal to, the answer is greater than or equal to. Okay? Let me finish. We're not going to use this very often at all, so I'm just going to walk you through it. Then we need to flip our inequality so that the x is first. So the x comes first. Your arrow is pointing towards the x, and then your negative 4 is over here. So our answer, our final answer on this one is x is less than or equal to negative 4. Do we see that one on there? Olivia Orange? Okay. So go ahead and check that one off. There's a reason we did this one together. It's much more difficult. Okay, so make sure you check off x is less than or equal to negative 4. Okay, our next one, number 13, is negative 16 is less than or equal to negative 3 plus x. What's my first step? Upside down t. Good. Okay, we need to get this x all alone. So what's my next step? Good. Do the opposite of negative 3. How would I get rid of this negative 3? Not just take it away, but how do I do it? Got to add 3 to each side. This is a negative 3. To cancel it out, we need to add 3 to both sides. These cancel, and we're left with x. Now, you have your negatives. We've talked about how to add and subtract negatives. We have negative 16 plus 3. Let's see, make sure we can see this. If you're at negative 16 and you add 3 to positive 3, what do you get? Negative 13. Okay, negative 13. Now that we're there, we can drop down our inequality. X is less than that. Well, we're not completely done yet. We still need to flip our inequality so it faces the correct direction. Our x needs to come first. The open side of your thing is facing the x, so you just flip it around, and then the negative 13 comes next. So when you flip it, you just got to make sure you write it correctly. So your final answer here should be x is less than or equal to negative 13. Sorry, greater than or equal to. Cafeteria? Okay. Huh? You don't know that for sure. I don't know. I don't know the answer. Okay, let's do one more together, and then I'm going to have you guys work or try it on your own. So this last one we have, this is number 15, negative 7x. Oh, I wrote equals. What is it? Less than, greater than?
Less than.
What is less than 35? Okay, so we have negative 7x is less than 35. What do I do first? Upside down t. Good. Now we have negative 7 is being added to X multiplied to x. Good. Multiplied by x. So what's the opposite of multiplying by negative 7? Good. Divide by negative 7 on just one side? Both sides. Okay. This side will cancel out. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 is 1. So you have 1x or just x. Now, again, ignore the negative. What's 35 divided by 7? 5. And it will be negative because you took a positive and you divided by a negative. So it's a negative 5. What is my sign in the middle? Less than. And then that tricky thing that I kind of talked about, since you divided by a negative, you need to flip it so it says greater than on this one. So x is greater than negative 5 in this case. So that answer checks off the box for lunch. Okay. All right. Now you guys have a few that I want you guys to try on your own. See if you can figure out who found her homework, when, and where. So you can use your whiteboards on your desks. If you have pieces of paper at home that you want to use, just make sure that you are solving these. Okay? Once you're done, you can get it turned in. No, you should not have to flip your inequality anymore at all. I did it. I did the ones I have to flip. Yeah, but I did the ones for you that flipped, so you shouldn't have to do it anymore. What? You shouldn't have to. Yeah. Okay, let me go and cross off some of these. All right, so at this point on the instructions page, you should have Olivia Orange checked off, right? What else? Courtyard, cafeteria, lunch, and what else? First period. Okay, so, yep. So go ahead and keep working on those other ones. Take your time. See if you can figure out who did it. Whatever is left is the person that found it when and where. All right.